Out of my way! Get out of it, Thomas! I'm coming through! Oh, Thomas, that's enough! That's enough! I'm not seeing a sign of any puffs of smoke. He's been running for a few minutes now and I'm starting to get very worried. Well, hello everybody. I finally found some new Tomas and Friends stock. It has been a bit of a bugbear for me during 2016. We're going to take a look at some of this stuff here. We're going to also have a few words to maybe say about that one, this one, and also the film The Great Race. My son had quite a reaction to this movie. The word he used, well, he said to me, "Dad, this is so different." Whether different is better or worse than previous movies, maybe I'll let the audience have their say. In this video, I don't want to get caught up in spoilers related to the film, but the first train we're going to take a look at is what I call the David Bowie Tomas. Trackmaster 2, Trophy Tomas, got two bits of rolling stock there. We've got a nice gold trophy. We've got what I call the David Bowie Tomas. It's just a little flash moment in the film that you could quite easily miss. On the back, it shows you what is in this series. Of course, there's Trophy Tomas, the Flying Scotsman, and the Shooting Star Gordon, which is awesome. Coming in for the unboxing, what did surprise me was the fact that they've chosen Tomas to be in this livery, where in the movie he's actually paint splattered for the bulk of the film. Maybe we'll get another variation. I'm hoping we'll get a streamlined Tomas with the blue Annie and Clarabelle. I think that looked awesome, and I'll tell you what, this actually looks awesome as well. Let me get it out nice and gently. Having trouble getting this wagon and gold thing out. Okay, it's out. The first wagon we'll look at is the trophy wagon, I'll call it. It has got a gear here that interacts with one of the wheels. So it looks like when you stick the trophy on and the wheels turn, the trophy's going to spin around. So the faster Tomas goes, the faster that trophy will spin. That's a nice piece indeed. I think I'd be gluing that on there so it can still spin, but so we don't lose the trophy. It's a sort of piece that would go missing and sort of destroy that piece. The next wagon is, I think, part of the story. I think that's the valve that Gordon needs, and I don't want to give away any more than that. I don't want to spoil the story for you. That's a nice colour. I don't think I've got that colour before. A nice covered piece like that. It's a sort of one, if you're going to do a super fast Tomas, you could put your battery in there and hide it in there. Perfect wagon for that. In fact, that's given me an idea. And then there is the Tomas, and as far as I know, it's just a flash moment where you see Tomas like this. In fact, in the whole film, you see many, many variations of Tomas the Tank, and that gets people excited. I think the Terrence version with the tractor wheels is the one I like the most. Maybe you can tell me the one you like the most. Taking a close look at Tomas's face here, I think that's a new mould of the face. We've got the eye here, which is a bit, what would you call it, looking serious. The mouth's different shape. And we've got, I call it like the David Bowie look there. I wonder if it is a thing related back to David Bowie as a bit of a tribute. Maybe you know more than me. I do like the fact this is not a sticker. This has actually been printed on. I hate it when they do detailing with stickers, and I'm sure you do as well. It's rather nice. It's going to look perfect in my Tomas the Tank collection. The core of these Tomases is 2013, but I think in a lot of these toys the core never changes, but sometimes the top does. I don't know, I've forgotten how many toys that I've put batteries in over the years. I don't mind putting batteries in these, just check that Tomas works. Tomas is a goer! Okay, we'll give Trophy Tomas his first spin here and see how he looks. Okay, he's burning up the rails, doing his Trackmaster best. Look impressive! Go Trophy Tomas, go! Yes, I like this one. It's a sort of toy I would not let it sit in the shops and think you're going to get it at a special price. I don't think they're going to be around for very long. I've double checked the batteries in this. I think Tomas is a little bit slower than normal because he's actually got the burden of having to make the gear work to make the trophy spin. Whenever you give a bit of extra work to something, it's going to possibly slow it up, and I think that's what's going on here. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe that Tomas is powering. Let me just put a Tomas on, a stock standard one, fresh batteries all by itself, and we'll see who catches up to who. Okay, well, the Trophy Tomas is actually going faster than the Tomas that's got no load. Now there's a Tomas mystery for you. It's what looks very cool, that Thomas double header I've got going on there. Very cool. So let me capture this Thomas here and turn this Thomas off without causing too much of a train wreck. And while I've got a normal Thomas out, we can take a look at how different the face is on the Trophy Thomas face. Fantastic to see a custom face, absolutely fantastic. I like this Thomas a lot, I like it a lot. Let me get rid of the normal Thomas. We'll move Trophy Thomas to the inside track. And the next one we're going to take a look at is Shooting Star Gordon. Okay, so this Trackmaster two-piece has a nice wagonette. There are some flags there, but you can barely see them. There is the tender that Gordon drags along. Of course, there is the streamlined Gordon. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? Did I say these, how much these cost me? They cost me $19 in Australia, probably far cheaper in the USA, probably half that price. Let me unbox this beauty. Come to me, Gordon, come to me! Whoa! And then you've got to gently unbox them, like that. Just a little bit of uncoupling here, so we can take a look at the wagons. Okay, the piece of rolling stock in the Shooting Star Gordon is this. This piece does come off. It's a bit like the trophy piece, and there is a way of manipulating the flags by the wheel. So when the wheels spin, the flags are going to flutter like that. I quite like that. I like the colour of this, and we're going to talk about colour very soon. Okay, yeah, that's a nice little piece. Gordon's tender, if I get it round the right way. That's the front there, okay, I hope. It's streamlined. It is a strange shade of blue, and it's like they've tried to put a speckle or something in it, and it just hasn't quite worked out. And I'll show you Gordon's normal tender, which is a fairly strong blue, okay, versus what we've got here. I hope you can see the difference there. I would have preferred if it was like the one I'm just shaking there, or if they put more of a fleck, or whatever they've tried to do in this. It just didn't sort of work out. You can sort of see that strange moulding streaming that goes on in plastic moulding in that there. You can sort of, yeah, I don't know, that's just my 5 cents on it. Nevertheless, it's different. I like it because it's different. Gordon's next to look at. I think Gordon looks spectacular like this. Maybe you won't like this. This has actually been printed on. It's not like a sticker that I could just pick off. If it was more metallicized and maybe that deeper blue, yes, I'm going to like it more. That's across the top. It looks nice, doesn't it? Gordon's face. Look at that. Racing attitude. Nice custom face there. And the way it's all blanked off at the front, once you get rid of those buffers and you put that streamlining on, it really does radicalize the look of the engine, doesn't it? If I get my normal stock standard Gordon, you can just see how different that is. I've got a feeling these will be very popular. I just got that feeling. Maybe I'll be wrong there, but I think they're going to storm out of the shops. I think Mattel have made very, very curious changes in the way they presented the toys. Maybe they've been listening to us and seeing what we like and don't like. I like this a lot. Let me put a battery in this Gordon and give it a run. Just put the battery in. I'm just giving it a go. One thing I've noticed with this one here, it's got a very, very stiff switch. Now, I've opened these up before, and you've seen the way it's designed, and I think I understand why sometimes the switches feel different. I know there are a lot of hardcore Gordon fans in the Tomas and Friends fandom. I'd just like to hear what you have to say. If you are a top Gordon fan, what do you think of the changes they've done here? Do you like what you see here? I think that's the most important people to hear from. Okay, Shooting Star Gordon's first go, and it has got a very, very stiff switch. You can even hear how stiff it is. The way Gordon goes. What do you think about that? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I actually think it looks stunning. That's my thoughts on it, and you can sort of see the flags fluttering away there as Gordon seems away from us. Yeah, you know, I'm looking at this and I'm not taking my eyes away from it. To me, that's a great litmus test for a toy. I'm actually really pleased we're getting some custom faces coming through. Boy, that was needed with the Trackmaster 2. I might start Trophy Thomas off here and they can have a bit of a race, see who's faster, see who's slower. And Thomas is starting to play up and he's going to get smacked by Gordon. Oh! And Gordon's actually been derailed there. Naughty Thomas. Gordon's had a major failing. Back on the rails you go, back on the rails. Oh, it's getting very messy, isn't it? Very messy. Come on. Up you go, Gordon. Up you go. Okay, somehow we have almost righted what is wrong here. Or have we, or haven't we? No, they've come adrift again. That was very ugly, wasn't it? That nice, very, very firm switch on Gordon. So Gordon's away again, and I'll get Thomas. I'm sure I can run these two together, side by side. Like, what is going on with What is going on, Thomas? got the huff that Gordon's been streamlined, I think. Look at that. He just keeps wanting to cause wreckage and train disasters. Oh, Thomas, that's enough! That's enough! Oh, it's almost like the great race is playing out right before your eyes on this turntable here. How strange. Okay, if it happens again, Thomas is banned. I'm sorry to say it like that, but he is playing up. What is going on there? Why does he do these silly things? Look how... Okay, well, he's got his back wagon dragging. Now he's done it again. What is going on? And Gordon's going to come along and say, out of my way! Get out of it, Thomas! I'm coming through! And it's just looking very, very ugly, isn't it? Very ugly indeed. And somehow there's a strange sort of train wreck equilibrium is set up there. Oh, Gordon's down! Gordon is down! Naughty, naughty. I think Thomas is going to be banned. We're just pushing to inside track there. Sorry about that, Gordon. Because it is all about looking at you, and you would hate for the fact of being showed off by that other naughty, naughty Thomas. Okay, go, Gordon, go. You're not going to have Thomas annoy you anymore, I can guarantee it. I like this a lot. I wouldn't delay in getting this stuff. For the bulk of the year in Australia, the Thomas stock was stupidly hard to find. This only appeared mid-October. Okay, so it's in the last couple of months, the run up to Christmas. It's sort of like the strange time when things appear in the toy stores and often they're gone for the rest of the year. But my advice to you is if you see the shooting star Gordon, don't let it sit on the shelf, grab it. Actually going to do a Gordon versus Gordon. I don't know if he's going to play up like Thomas did. Let's hope not. Okay. Away Gordon goes. Maybe it's something to do with an inside track that's playing over those Trackmaster trains, and he's catching up to the stream. I was giving him the nudge! He doesn't like that streamlined Gordon at all. That was a bit strange. And I think the perception of speed from the standard Gordon is for the fact the radius inside is smaller than the one outside. But it does set up some rather strange visuals, doesn't it? Maybe I'll get Gordon on the outside track here and see how he goes. Whoa, go Gordon, go. See if he is faster than the streamlined one or not. What is this? He's catching up. What? How can that be? The normal Gordon's faster than the streamlined one. Can anyone explain that one? I don't know how much you've played with the Trackmaster 2 trains, but what I've noticed is that even though the core of the train can be the same, what I've found is that different characters will have different speeds. I know this one here, the streamlined Gordon has the extra effort in having to pull the wagon which has got the flags. That'd be creating extra work for the engine. I think that's what's going on here and why this Gordon here is actually a bit faster than the streamlined one, which I think's caught many people by surprise. It certainly has caught me by surprise and caught the streamlined Gordon by surprise. Well, you could watch this all day long, but we won't, and I'll come in and turn Gordon off, streamlined Gordon, and oh! I should turn the wrong one off, sorry about that, boys and girls. We hate to see Gordon get damaged, don't we? Well, there is the hard-up comparison of Gordon Streamline versus standard Gordon face. I'd swear that the Gordon Streamline face is rounder. Maybe it's an optical illusion. Maybe you can tell me. But it's nice to see a custom face. It's really, really nice. Well, the next one, of course, is a Flying Scotsman we're going to look at. Of course, it's this box right here. Looks spectacular, doesn't it? It's got, is it chuff chuffs on it? I call it chuff chuffs, the clouds. Or is that just steam on the side? Maybe people would like to have seen this clean. You can tell me. That's what I thought when I first saw this. I thought I didn't quite like the chuff chuffs on it, whatever it is. Let's unbox this beauty and have a closer look at what's going on here. Come on, Flying Scotsman. Come to Papa. Hello. Yeah, it looks nice. Metallic-y, greeny looking thing, and very carefully unbox it. Okay, this is the most rear tender. Is it a water tanker on the very back of the Flying Scotsman, or was it double coal? I'll let the train buffs tell me. I'd hate to sound like an expert, but because I'm not. It has got detailing on there that you normally don't see afforded to the Trackmaster 2 range, which is a little bit strange. Like I said, I don't like... It would have been, to me, would have been nice if it was clearer. There is a very, very subtle attempt at like a metal fleck in this, but it doesn't really come through in the tenders that well. That's coal, and is that water or is that where the drivers sleep? The ones that are tired. I know that sometimes tenders can have all sorts of other purposes in life. I watched some train show, that's what they said. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, a green. I think it's nice to see green characters. This is the Flying Scotsman. I mean, you get the train buffs and they will scream about this engine. Oh, it's the fastest in the world, and the fact that it crashed or it didn't crash. You can have huge arguments about that. Once again, I watched a train show about that. Quite curious. If you start saying, oh, the Flying Scotsman crashed, boy, does that cause a bunch of angst. The running board is a very, very dark green. I quite like that shade. And when I say dark green, it's very similar to black. So there's the running board colour there, or running plate, as some people call it, and that is black. And it's got those fluty things there that sort of chuff air around a different way. That's sort of I suppose, in a strange way, an attempt at streamlining and controlling soot, I think. Maybe I'm totally wrong there. The face, there's just something wrong here. It's very awkward looking to me, this one. I think Gordon it worked better, but they've got sort of the, I'm in a rush, I'm in a race. But I think the eyebrows, I don't know, you guys can tell me, it just looks like it's got a face twitch and it's stuck. I don't know, it just didn't work out on that one. Maybe you can tell me what you think. Having a closer look here, we can see that it's got that metallic fleck in there. Okay, and like I said, these have been printed on. It's nice detailing, but I would have liked to have seen it clean. There is nice and close, Flying Scotsman. Okay, so, there'll be lots of people excited to see this engine in the Trackmaster 2 range, but then again, there'll be other people saying, well, they didn't do it right. I'm just glad we're getting something different and things with nice custom faces. Well, let me come in and put the Flying Scotsman up against Shooting Star Gordon. I've got to really think because all the names are a little bit different now. Okay, I'll get the Flying Scotsman away first. Remember, the switch is very stiff. Maybe it'll loosen up over time. Away the Flying Scotsman goes. Chuffer, chuffer, chuffer. Looking pretty nice, isn't it? Looking very nice indeed. Yeah, again, I wouldn't let it sit on the shelves, that model there. I think it's going to be fairly popular, but I may be totally wrong as well, and I'll come in and get Shooting Star Gordon going, because we want to see them together, don't we? They look nice. That is if he stays on the rails and doesn't play up like Thomas did. It's nice to see Shooting Star Gordon, but the main attraction at the moment is the Flying Scotsman. Take a good hard look at what's going on there. Tell me if you like what you see and if you are going to try and run out and purchase it. I have had a few people say to me that they've had a lot of trouble finding this engine here, and I'm sort of not surprised. I know in the Thomas and Friends folklore it's very popular, and also in just rail folklore as well. One of the most popular engines about. They're very matched their speed here, even though Gordon's on what would be the much faster inside circuit, and I can get a nice double shot of these two engines doing their thing. It looks very nice, doesn't it, with the disgraced Thomas the Tank in the inside there, but these two guys are not fighting, they're being very nice to each other. And there they go, steaming off into the distance. Looks totally spectacular. Well, DVD stories, movies, children's movies like The Great Race, well, in the end it's about selling toys, isn't it? I think we've got some nice new toys here which have been generated by this film. I do very much like what I see. I'm hoping they do a Thomas streamlined version, Trackmaster style. I'd really like to see that. Whether that happens, whether that's in the pipeline, who really knows? But I'm pretty sure if they did, it'd be very, very popular. And of course, I'm being a bit selfish there with a lot of self-interest in my Thomas the Tank collection. Okay, I'll come along and shut down these two engines. Whoa, that was very untidy, wasn't it? And the next thing we're going to take a look at is rather special. It is the Real Steam Tomas. I was very happy to see this land. I know there's a playset which I think features one of these Thomases in it. I nearly thought there wasn't going to be these Thomases in Australia. I saw plenty of people overseas with them. This box is actually quite damaged. Normally I would not pick up ones like this, but it was the only one that I found. It was at Toys R Us. It was $35, but I got 10% off because of the box damage. So what's that, $3.50? Although I failed maths at school. Yeah, it's worth asking that. I mean, don't go and damage the box and then think you're going to get a discount. It doesn't always happen. It's when it's like the last thing in the shop, they'll come good with you. Okay, let's get this thing out and see if it works. It looks like someone's got in there before in the toy store, doesn't it? I wonder why you do that. Maybe, okay, the constructions are still there. Maybe they were swiping stuff or trying to. We'll get Thomas out, nice and gently as usual, and try and save the boxing. Or then again, the box is already gone. Come on, Thomas! Out you come. Ooh, looks nice, doesn't it? Nice metallic finish on this one. Yeah, come on, gently, out you come. The back of the ripped box shows me how to fill up this Thomas. It looks like the filling dropper actually lives inside his little wagon there. Then you fill that with water, then you put the water in the right spot. Also notice Percy is available for the Percy fans. So there's Thomas's little water tanker in this, but really it's just something to hold the water filler, which looks to me like a bomb. Made in China bomb. And I think it actually lives inside there. I hope I've got that the right way around. I hope that's the way it goes. I know you'll be screaming, oh no, Leo, it goes the other way around. I think it goes like that. And the Thomas, beautiful metallic blue. It's nice, isn't it? Very nice. In fact, it's got a stock standard face by the look of it, which is sort of sad. I think it's a bit bigger than a normal stock standard Trackmaster 2 Thomas, and I have just unscrewed it, and it does take a different sort of battery style in here. In fact, it takes 3 batteries to make this thing go. And the little water area, put it in there, well, it's somewhere at the front here, but I'll put batteries in it and I'll whack it back together. So this piece at the front here must be some sort of magical steam generator. I'm a bit curious to see inside, but I won't be doing that in this video. I've got batteries in, as you can see. I've going to turn it on, and there's a blue light there. There's no water in it yet. I'm just checking that Thomas runs. Oh, he's nice and strong before I put his lid on. Okay, I'll put the lid on and get some water into Thomas. Just on that metallicness of Thomas and the way they finished him off, it is very nice, but I think I can show you one that's nicer, and that is this Tommy Thomas here. I mean, to me, that is a proper metallic finish, in a sense. That is an absolute stunner. In fact, I've never really seen one nicer than that. When you compare it to, you know, that one there, which got a large fleck, I know which one I prefer. Maybe you could tell me which metallic version you prefer. Very hard to tell through camera. I'll just go, there's a close-up of the Tommy one. Okay. And this one's just turned on. And there is a close-up of that one there. I hope you can see the difference there. There's really no fine metallic fleck in that one, but this one here, just beautiful. I mean, where are toys like this these days? To look at the size difference between the real Steam Thomas and the normal Trackmaster 2 Thomas, I've got them lined up at the back there. The original Trackmaster 2 Thomas is smaller in scale. It's like the real Steam one has been pumped up like 10%, if that makes any sense. The boiler area here is larger and it's taller. That's the main differences that I see. I think everything else there is sort of fairly similar in a strangest way. Anyway, let me put some water in this and we'll see if it steams up. There's a little 3 tiers there and an arrow, so maybe that means water. I have put water in this thing already. I don't know how much you put in. Maybe just put it until there's water spilling out everywhere. That's what I normally do. Or maybe that's a sign there's too much water. It's pouring out the bottom. I'll turn it on and see how long it takes to produce steam. Might take a little while to do whatever it has to do. Oh, the light's gone off. What does that mean? Does it mean I'm in trouble? The light's back on. I can't see any steam effect yet, can you? Well, I'm just reading the box here about what it says with this Thomas here and how it's going to produce steam. He'll spout 2 different plumes of steam from his funnel, a continuous stream or sporadic puffs. Well, I'll get the real Steam Thomas with his little tender there going on the turntable. Maybe he'll warm up and start doing some steam, although I don't think heat's involved. I think it's another process. Okay, go Thomas, go. Anything could happen, or maybe nothing could happen. We're going to find out soon, aren't we? It's sort of funny that Tommy Ultimate Thomas, the steam function failed in that really fast, as I remember. So I'm not having much confidence here. Well, while Thomas is attempting to do nothing, I'm just looking over the instructions here. It says to use distilled water. It says don't fill the air vent. Don't put it down the funnel. I haven't done any of these things. I've put the water down the water hole as far as I know. I'm not seeing a sign of any puffs of smoke. He's been running for a few minutes now and I'm starting to get very worried. I may just come and give it the kiss of life over the top because there could be an air blockage when I put the water in. There's an air bubble in there stopping the water from being where it should be. I'm not sure whether you'll see this, it might be too dramatic. Just reading the instructions here again, it does say it may take some time before it starts puffing steam. Well, I've just topped up the water again. I'll put Thomas back up here and I'll give him a good spin. I'll go and have something to eat and I will come back and see if Thomas comes good. You better behave yourself, Thomas, and start steaming up for me. Well, it's not a good story I've got to tell here. Now I'm thinking back to that packaging of this Thomas. You remember it was all ripped up and I got the discount. Maybe this has been pre-loved. Someone's had this. They've worked out it doesn't work and they've basically just returned it to the store, and well, guess who the next owner is? Me. Well, boys and girls, it's not good news. This thing has been run a fair time now and I can't see a puff of smoke emanating from it. I've got a very, very strong feeling it's basically Tomas and friends fail. I don't know how to rectify this. I'm not very cluey about how the system here works. Maybe I've got to destroy this one to work out how it works. Maybe I'll learn something along the way. All I know is in this video I've spent enough time looking at something that doesn't work. Looking back on the constructions here, it talks about storage, and also if you are going to put it away, to empty the train of water, that is if it works. And this is also important to look at. It's the consumer assistance. If you do have troubles with toys, I'm sure Mattel Fisher-Price are very keen to sort you out, and I'm pretty sure Toys R Us would have this toy returned without any problems. I could just say, hey, I'm sorry, but it never worked, out of box, and you'll get a full refund. What I'm going to do with this toy is I'm not going to return it or get a refund. I'm a Thomas collector. It doesn't bother me that it doesn't work. I'm glad I'm not a 3-year-old who's expecting Thomas to go chugga chugga, because then I would be disappointed. I may come in and try and understand how this works, and maybe I can fix it, but I'm not really feeling that confident, I'll be quite honest here. I have given it a fair time to see if it works or doesn't work, and I can tell you this, this poor toy doesn't work. What I've found with steaming types of toys, they can be very hit and miss. Sorry for the pun. Having that failed steamy Thomas has derailed this video. I was going to look at this Thomas here. That's the light up take and play Thomas. It's very nice. The only one I've been able to find has had ripped packaging, so I don't mind unboxing that. And it was bought through Target, and Target don't do a thing where if the packaging's damaged, they don't give you a discount. I think it's a very nice Thomas to have. I think, mind you, I haven't got out of the packaging yet. Very hard to find that one there. And also this is, I think, the must-have Thomas. It's the streamlined Thomas. It's like a bit of a fantasy dream sequence, I suppose, in the movie, without saying too much. But it's extremely nice, and I will look at that in another video. Yes, maybe you can give me your quick thoughts about the light-up Thomas if you've got one already, and the streamlined Thomas, and especially that thing there. That didn't work for me. Maybe there's a bigger story about to evolve. I've got something very nice for someone who watched one of my recent videos, the Toys R Us one, and noticed something on the shelves that had me go back to the store. Guess what I got for him? Hey, I've got a little prize for him, and it's going to be a beauty, and this is going to be something you do not unbox. The YouTuber is called the Bumchittiest Bum. Hope I've got it right there. And he said to me, hey Leo, did you notice that the scrap monster was in Marion packaging? Well, I didn't notice it was in the store. It had me go back to the store. It has not been like reboxed or anything. It is proper sealed in box. This is collector's paradise stuff, this. And I thought, since he noticed it, actually look at the dust on top of that there. It's actually been there for a long time. Remember I talked about dust on top of the packaging? There we are, covered in dust, hey? It has been there for a long time and no one's noticed it. Mind you, I didn't notice it. I went back there, and I think it's been a very nice thing to give to that YouTuber, considering he was so astute in watching one of my lousy videos on YouTube. So, Bumchittiest Bum, this is your prize. I'll also sling in for you something like that. Very nice, isn't it? Very hard to find now. They disappeared real fast. And the secret to picking this up, it's pretty simple. Send me a mailing address from your channel to my channel via the same message area. Put it this way, if I don't hear from you, I'll accept that you don't want to have the prize. If I get a mailing address, I will send it to you, or maybe you can send me a message saying, I'm sorry Leo, but I can't send you a mailing address, and I will keep the prize for someone else. If you ever see strange things like this, it's certainly the stuff to pick up. There are collectors who pay good money for mistakes like this. Now, normally it's the Trackmaster 2 stuff I see packaged incorrectly. Let me push this aside. There's one thing I want to show you before I say goodbye, and I'll push it aside carefully. Thomas and the Great Race, there's a lot of musical scenes, a lot of singing. It's actually a very good Thomas and Friends movie, but there's some clanger faults in it, and this is one of them. This is Ashima and Thomas in a bit of a song sequence, and you can see Annie and Clarabelle being pulled by Ashima there, which sort of disturbs Thomas a lot. And then in the same sequence, in a double shot again, Annie and Clarabelle have vaporized. I don't know whether the producers put this in on purpose to get people chitting and chatting, because they know the train fans look at every detail. My son saw this, but there are lots of other faults in this film. In fact, there's tons of them. And I'm sure that my audience could list endless amounts of little faults where things appear and disappear and things don't seem right all throughout this film. This movie mistake happens about halfway through the film. I'm going to get in trouble showing this and get a copyright strike. I better leave this video here. Thanks for watching and bye for now. I've got my son down here to look at these trains. He's seen the film, but first time he's really played with the trains. He's just going to get them going. Watch out, Thomas is a troublemaker. Oh, it's easy. He's already causing trouble. Big trouble. That is a train wreck. It's a nice looking train wreck as well.
Damn, son.
You're going to do something to fix that train wreck? You can't leave him like that. My goodness me.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, Thomas is a troublemaker.
Damn, son.
Which one of these do you like the most?
I think it's...
Do you like this one? You like Gordon's brother?
Gordon's brother and the shooting star.
The shooting star is nice, yes.
And Thomas.
He likes them all. Funny that, isn't it? Can you explain to me why Gordon's brother's got two tenders?
I just don't know.
Oh, you should know. You're the train expert, not me.
Why Thomas?
Well, see that? He's troublemaker big time. Massive troublemaker, that Thomas. And I haven't quite worked out why he keeps derailing and playing up. Well, if you spin it like that, of course it's going to cause trouble. So my son likes them all. I'm not surprised with that. And I'll be quite honest here, I like them all as well. And he give Gordon's brother a go. A bit of a race. See, he likes the turntable thing here. Maybe that's a nice simple idea for Mattel to pick up. Make some sort of turntable layout like this. It'd be a very simple thing for them to do, and I know the children like it. Who do you think's winning that race?
Gordon's brother.
Gordon's brother is winning. Well, you could sort of be mesmerised and watch that all day, but we're not going to. I'm going to have a double sign-off in this video. Again, thanks for watching, and...
Bye for now! Damn.
You still do the licky tongue?
No, damn, son.